Gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
The NBA playoffs continue from New Orleans, right next to the Superdome. It's New Orleans Arena, and it's Game 3 of the West opening round series. The Lakers and Hornets tied at 1 game apiece. Kobe Bryant and the Lakers lost Game 1, a shocking loss by 9, but they try to bounce back and take the series lead. Mike Tirico, Hubie Brown, Heather Cox here in a second. The reason New Orleans won Game 1, extraordinary effort by Chris Paul, bottled up in Game 2. What has to happen in Game 3?
Well, I think that he's got to get his average, Mike, and that by we mean a mid-20 game, a double-figure assist, and then also the rebounding. He gets you 5 boards and a couple of steals. Need a big game from him.
And on the other side for the Lakers, Kobe Bryant guarded Chris Paul a lot in the last game that they played the other night. That's not probably going to be the case tonight.
Well, I think Game 1 is going to be tonight again. 34 points, 26 attempts, and then not like Game 2. Anytime that you say Kobe Bryant's only going to take 10 shots in a game, we know that's not going to happen here.
Good, Eddie? Great. That's probably what we'll have time-wise.
Bless the organization this entire season in our community. And Lord, we thank you for this Good Friday and your Son, who you did for us 2,000 years ago. In Jesus' name, amen.
Tonight's colors are presented by members of the New Orleans Fire Department Honor Guard. And now, ladies and
The NBA playoffs continue from New Orleans, Louisiana. Tonight, Game 3 of the best of 7. West first round, the two-time defending NBA champion Los Angeles Lakers and the New Orleans Hornets. 9-point win for the Hornets in Game 1, 9-point win for the Lakers in Game 2. Mike Tirico, Hall of Famer Hubie Brown, Heather Cox in a second. 2 stars, they played well in the series. Chris Paul and Kobe Bryant. What about Paul here tonight in Game 3? Great in Game 1. Stuffed a little bit, I'd say, Game 2 by the Lakers defense.
Well, I think, Mike, he made his best all-around game. Mid-20 in points, double-figure assists. You know he's going to give you 5 rebounds and steals, but they need the complete game.
What about Kobe? He did not be a huge part of the offense, I'd say, in Game 2. You expect a lot of offense from him tonight?
Yeah, I expect him to come out firing. Game 1, 34 points and 26 shots. Game 2, 11 points, only 10 shots. In between there, but major contributor.
All right, let's check the starting lineups for the Lakers, of course. You've got really a lineup they've seen all year long. Only 2 starting lineups they used all year. Fisher, Bryant, Artest, Gasol starting all 82 games. Andrew Bynum off a big game. For the Hornets, this changing cast during the year. Great story, this team. With Chris Paul and Okafor back from last year, Bellinelli, Ariza, the former Laker, and Carl Landry acquired right around trade deadline time. How Gasol struggled in this series, Heather Cox has more on that.
Indeed, Mike, there's been so much discussion on how much his numbers have dropped, down to 8 points on just 21% shooting. So Phil Jackson had a heart-to-heart with his star, telling him, use your strengths, use both hands, face up, shoot the ball outside, adding that incentive that Kobe sent you to go often and early. It's not how you can beat them. Know who you are. Now, it doesn't help that Gasol is suffering from an upper respiratory infection. He's on antibiotics. Doctors have used every trick in the book to make him more comfortable. He started feeling the effects on Wednesday when Game 2 was played, but refuses to use it as an excuse. And Mike, he told me minutes ago, I'm good to go.
All right, we'll see what happens here in Game 3. The Hornets, a 46-win team in the regular season, swept by the Lakers in the regular season series, shocked them in Game 1, pushed them in Game 2. This city loves Friday nights. This city loves a big event. And the Lakers in town always brings out the best in New Orleans. Places hopping, gold shirts for everyone, everybody on their feet. And here we go with Game 3 of the Lakers and the Hornets. Joey Crawford works his 269th NBA playoff game. Bennett Salvatore works his 197th. Sean Wright works his 4th. They're the 3 officials tonight. Underway, Chris Paul with it for the Hornets.
When you watch the Hornets now, in the first 2 games, they were running close to 70 pick and rolls during the course of the game.
Landry off the curl. It's the first shot, rebound for Gasol for Los Angeles.
Now there's a lot of pressure on the Hornets to shoot a high percentage from the perimeter, which will open up the lane for Chris Paul off the dribble.
Bynum backing in on Okafor, who's been in foul trouble in the first 2 games, and Andrew Bynum's offense looked very good in game 2. Hubie, he had 17 points.
Well, he has such an advantage, not only in height over Okafor, but also in weight. Remember, 7 foot 285. Okafor has got to step up, Mike, tonight, because in games 1 and 2, one of his best shot blockers in the league does not have a block. And then also one of the best rebounders in the league at over 9 a game is only averaging 3. They need his presence in the paint.
Marco Bellinelli off the ball, picked up the game's first personal foul. Here's Kobe guarded by Trevor Ariza, the former Laker.
Well, I like what we saw that time. A lot of baseline movement, bringing Fisher off the screens.
Ron Artest has had a nice series so far. Hubie, he's 11 of 23 from the field.
Yeah, I like what he's doing, Mike. And also, he's averaging 8 rebounds a game, and that's great for a small forward.
Derek Fisher starts on Chris Paul, working inside for Okafor, and Monty Williams, the head coach of the Hornets, told us we have to have a big offensive game from Okafor to win tonight.
Mike, the guy shoots over 50%. He has to give them his all-around game. Just be yourself tonight.
Here's Gasol coming toward the basket, blocked by Ariza.
The big thing tonight will be, as you watch this young team, they are an excellent defensive team, meaning the Hornets. They will double, sometimes off the dribble, sometimes they'll come quick on the double, but they change up during the half.
Ryan comes baseline, sees a lot of gold shirts. Bellinelli protects, Paul pushes, Ariza finishes. Didn't make it. Got the second chance and got fouled by Bynum.
Ariza stepped out. He had a difficult game 1. Game 2, he gave you double figures. They need him on the break to be the 3rd man on the break. Plus, he's so athletic at 6'9". They need him then to help out on the glass because there is such a difference in height between the Lakers and the Hornets.
Trevor Ariza missed the free throw out of UCLA. Was a second-round pick of the Knicks on his 5th team, including a stay with the Lakers when they won the first of these back-to-back championships they're working on now. Derek Fisher, quiet offensively in the series. Kobe sees 2 bodies, trying to squeeze through, could not. Paul, Ariza, Bellinelli, Paul.
Now that was run beautifully.
Kobe, quick hit back on the offensive end, knocks down his first field goal attempt.
Yeah, I like what we saw there. The Lakers, sure, they got the layup at the other end, but a quick pass.
Ariza a 3. Rebounded by Bynum. 30% three-point shooter is Ariza.
Now
better in the playoffs.
Keep looking now for the quick double teams on Kobe once he gets down in the paint area. And you can see it again right there. That's 2 for 2.
He wanted to foul, and Okafor didn't get it. Another transition. Bellinelli a 3. Landry the rebound.
Remember what we said earlier now. They have to shoot a high percentage out on the perimeter if they're going to win this game.
And sometimes you would think at home you get those role players more comfortable, hit their shots.
That's a young team, Mike.
Oh, nice feed by Gasol to Bynum for the dunk.
Well, Gasol is one of the best passers on the Lakers. Outside of Kobe, he's your next major assist guy.
Paul using that screen at the top. Deflected by Fisher, and here comes Artest in transition.
Nice.
To Gasol, who traveled. Phil Jackson can't believe it right up at Joey Crawford.
Yeah, I give Ron Artest a lot of credit. He sucked up the defense on the play. Phil is very upset on the call. And this is a close thing. Now right there, there's your 2-step. And right there, you can pick your pivot foot up as long as you pass or shoot. That's what Phil is arguing about.
Phil coaching his 326th playoff game here tonight. He's won 226.
Nice.
Ariza around Kobe. And a good offensive start, Hubie, off the 22-point game in game 2 for Ariza.
Yeah, I like what he's doing here right now. Just take your time. Do not settle for the long jump shot where you're not a great percentage shooter. Look for your drives. It's there for you.
Artest aggressive. That Bellinelli, and he can take that guy in there all night.
It's like taking you and I, Mike. Okay, okay. I mean, that's made for them here in this series. The main thing is can Artest beat the three big guys down to the post-up area?
Off the curl, Bellinelli tries to make Artest pay on that. And Marco Bellinelli, in his 4th year out of Italy, picked by Golden State in the first round, 2007.
Nice.
Hand off to Artest and one. Carl Landry called for the foul.
When you played the Lakers on the left side of the floor, when they throw the ball in on the triangle to Pau Gasol, the cutter coming on the baseline's open. It's a good move by Artest. We can say he's got to fight for the post-up. Now watch this cutter come baseline. See, you got to anticipate that. They love to run it on that side.
16 points game 1, 15 points game 2. An early 7 for Ron Artest, and the Lakers lead by 3. This is an exceptional road playoff team in this era. Paul's pitch out got deflected. Here's Kobe running out with nobody else. Paul fouls him, and Kobe will come to the line for a 3-point play.
I'm surprised at Chris Paul. Not only the lazy pass at the other end of the floor, which ignited the break, but a bad foul. The old story about defense, never foul a jump shooter. Make him make the shot. Don't give him a 3-point play.
Those numbers, 34 in game 1, just 11 points in game 2 on 3 of 10 shooting. And Phil Jackson said, I'm sure Kobe will get more than 10 attempts in the game tonight.
Well, you see, he's not starting out on Paul. They are playing Fisher on Paul, and that will save him a lot of stamina as this game moves on. Anytime a team is running 70 pick and rolls a game on you, then you know that he was getting beat up physically.
Paul comes over for the double and the turnover. Bryant continuing to complain for a foul and not getting a call. 4 turnovers for the Lakers early.
Yeah, Chris has got to get in the game. He's got to get in the game from an offensive standpoint, scoring the ball, because that will feed off. The other 4 guys playing with him will pick up the energy.
Phil Jackson takes a timeout, 5.5 into this first quarter. Game 3, very important game for the Hornets. They don't have to win in LA again to win this series. Beating the Lakers at home, though, is no easy task.
All right, Hornets fans, your Hornets would like to thank Blue Cross Blue Sleep for sponsoring tonight's I'm in gold t-shirt giveaway. If you don't have your shirt on, be sure to put it on right now before the Hornets get back in action. Thanks again, Blue Cross Blue Sleep.
Thank you, Ron. And speaking of those I'm in t-shirts, courtesy of Blue Cross Blue Shield, if you haven't put your t-shirt on yet, put on your t-shirt. Let everybody know you're in for your Hornets. Put on your t-shirt. Let's see it.
Very little was expected from the Hornets, but what a shocking start to the series, led by Chris Paul, 33 points, 14 assists, 4 steals. As the Lakers struggled offensively, they won game 1. Then Wednesday night in game 2, Andrew Bynum was good inside. Paul hit a buzzer beater at the end of the half, end of the third quarter to keep it close, but too much of the Lakers' size. Their points in the paint, a big difference. The New Orleans bench, so good in game 1, didn't give it to him in game 2. And Hubie, it's still amazing to believe the Hornets only had an NBA playoff record-tying 3 turnovers in game 1. but the Laker defense better game 2.
Right, and in the second game, Mike, they forced 16 turnovers, and actually you can't get it done because you need as many shot attempts as possible to beat the Lakers.
That was Kobe's 4th shot attempt. The Lakers are 7 of 10 from the field here to start.
Right now, Chris Paul's got to get going. He has 2 points. He has a couple assists. He has 3 steals, but he has 3 turnovers.
Bellinelli comes off the curl. He continues to misfire. Saved by Okafor. Landry inside is denied by Kobe. He'll stay down here with 19 to shoot.
With the Lakers spending so much energy of trapping every time that Chris Paul goes down in there, once you get down in the paint, the Lakers have the major advantage because of size and the shot blocking. But the big thing is, when you double team Chris Paul now, all the guys are going to be open. You have to hit these shots. Landry misses. And Derek Fisher comes up with the rebound. Fisher only 5 field goals made in the first 2 games. Gasol is fouled by Okafor. I beg your pardon, Landry inside. Landry,
that's his second.
Yeah, he's a little mystified right there. See, they can't afford 2 fouls on Landry, mainly because of his athleticism. Now they're going to switch off by Gray coming in. Gray's not a scorer, but what he is a good rebounder and a good defensive guy. He takes up a lot of space at 7 foot, about 270.
Aaron Gray had a great game 1, 12 points, 5 of 5 from the field, guarding Andrew Bynum. Rebound by Okafor, who slides over now to pick up Gasol.
Yeah, Gray did a nice job there. Force Bynum to take the jump shot. Just don't let him get into the paint.
Ariza uses the screen from Gray to twist inside and get it. That's the other thing, Hubie. You mentioned Gray's size at 270. He puts a physical toll on you with all the screen and rolls these guys run.
Well, he relishes contact, Mike. There's no doubt about it. And he's a tough kid along with it. And then inside, if you hit him on the move, he's got good hands. He can score, but he's not going to create for himself.
Kobe Bryant on takeoff.
Come on now, that's miscommunications. No way can you let Kobe pass and cut without a body making him change direction. Come on, when he passes and cuts, you got to hit him with that forearm and knock him off his path.
He just got knocked on another screen by Gray, and Ariza gets the friendly roll.
Once Ariza continues to do this, you know that the Lakers are going to make an adjustment, and that is going to open up Okafor and Gray on the roll.
Ariza 4 of 6. The rest of the Hornets are 3 of 10. Gasol wide open and short. And you wonder at what point does the struggle become mental. Also battling the upper respiratory infection Heather told you about earlier. CP3 had nowhere to go. Now he's got it with 8. Here's Gray.
I like what Chris tried to do that time. He tried to maneuver Gray into the post with a guard on. Oh my. Oh.
He's not deferring right now. He is not getting others involved. But it's coming in the flow, and it's impressive.
Yes, I would say so. He's coming out here tonight and saying, hey, I want 34 again. Watch this bump and how he plays the glass. Beautiful.
Kobe will come to the line to try to complete a 3-point play. There's his dunk earlier. Bryant already with 8 points. The Lakers are on top by 6. Through most of that game, Stuart will keep an eye on that. A reminder, Sunday on ABC. We'll see if Miami and Boston can work their way to the second round. Both going to sweep in Philadelphia and New York. Our Easter Sunday doubleheader on the home of the NBA Finals, ABC. Here the Lakers lead by 6, 6th man of the year. Lamar Odom has checked in. Heather Cox, Lamar not feeling 100% here tonight.
No, Mike, Lamar Odom actually tweaked his knee this morning at shoot-around. He was testing it during intros and over there on the bench. He said he's fine, but his wife, Khloe Kardashian, disagrees. She has about 2.8 million followers on Twitter, and she tweeted this afternoon, this is the quote, "My baby hurt himself today. Please pray for him. Send him positive vibes for his game tonight." Needless to say, Mike, that tweet with 2.8 million followers caused plenty of hysteria in Laker Nation.
Are you on Twitter, Heather? Is that where you're getting your information
I can't go
now?
there. I know. I didn't even know. Other sources, Mike.
See,
I can't do it.
I am lame.
I know you're new to it. You love it.
I'm new to it. I have 13,000 followers. I am not following Khloe.
Gotta get on that.
I missed the news. Next time out, Khloe Kardashian will be followed.
Plenty of time here.
Okafor working on Khloe's husband. Here's Ariza. Good hustle by Okafor to chase it down. Keep this trip alive. They need something on the offensive end here, Hubie.
Yeah.
Foul on Kobe.
Mike, look at the Hornets this way. Outside of Ariza, no one else has 2 field goals. They're getting wide open shots at the basket. All the perimeter, meaning 15 to 18-foot jump shots, are not going down.
Great timeout recently, Monty Williams. Listen in.
They have 8 fast break points, but that's not my issue right now. We can't give up layups in a game like this. We're going to the hole, they're cracking us. We got to take those guys down, make them earn it at the free throw line. Come on now.
Bellinelli missed the 3. Hubie, that's what we talk about often in the playoffs. The mentality has to be different.
See, the 4 guards who play for the Hornets are big scorers, so they have to have a big game. They had a great game in game 1. But what has to happen here this evening, come on, when you're open for 15, 18, you've got to score.
Derek Fisher goes inside. This is a Derek Fisher kind of game, Hubie. It's 1-1. It's game 3 on the road. They had to take you off Chris Paul because he pretty much took you to school in game 1. As the shot from the top is knocked down by Jason Smith. But it's been a good start for Fisher with the field goal. He has 3 assists. He has a couple of steals.
Oh, there's a great steal.
Yeah, by Ariza.
Come on, we've been waiting for them to put the pressure on coming down. If he would have finished with his left hand, you had a layup.
Odom back the other way, watched by Smith, the 3rd-year man out of Colorado State.
There's that baseline give-off again. Oh, they run it so well. See, if you're center, if the guy playing the center now switches off on the cutter, the roll man goes right to the basket. They're very unselfish.
Kobe has Paul this time down.
Give the Lakers credit now. They're running Chris Paul off the shots.
Bellinelli off the dribble. We have a foul on the outside. Hubie, I was talking about Fisher a moment ago. I want to take you that last time out. We heard Monty Williams. Look at Derek Fisher. As Phil Jackson and the coaching staff are out by the top of the free throw line talking about strategy. Look at Kobe's eyes in there as Fisher is setting a tone for this team here in the timeout.
Well, you love him because he's a big shot guy at the end of games, no matter what he has been doing. He's a team leader and has been ever since he's been in the league. He has 5 rings. He and Kobe run the team every time the coaching staff leaves the locker room, and you know that. And then also, for people out there that don't realize this, he's president of the Players Association. He's a very bright young man.
Very bright. Lakers with a Kings-like line change. 4 players off. The entire bench group essentially coming in as Paul connects over Gasol.
Now, that was a tough shot. Now, I like the full court pressure. And they got to get a little tougher on the dribblers. Make the guy change direction. The more times you get him to change direction, by the time he gets to half court, see, they're down to 16 seconds already.
So that pressure on Shannon Brown is in part to make your half-court offense feel a little more pressure.
Yes, and also, Mike, it gives you less options because the clock is going down.
Offensive rebound keeps the trip alive. Gasol over Gray. Tough shot. And he got it to go.
Now, he needed that, and you could see he gave a little pump with his fist, and he shot that over Gray. Now, I'll tell you, now, Gray is over 7 foot, 285. He's a horse.
Chris Paul knocks down the field goal.
He's the guy that's got to get going, and we know that. But more important, he's getting a feel now that the other guys are struggling. I can get down from 15 down and get a high percentage look.
Willie Green has joined him in the New Orleans backcourt. Matt Barnes in, along with Steve Blake, second game back from chickenpox, and Shannon Brown. Odom's pass, taken away. Here's Paul on a push, 3-on-2. Ariza, blocked by a great leaper Brown.
People want to go 10, but it looked like he got that night.
Paul hits the three.
They'll take the three over the goal 10,
right.
okay? But now you're playing at their tempo. This is a team that steals the ball. They're very big in forcing turnovers. The big thing for them, they've got to get those 3-on-2, 4-on-3 breaks.
Odom inside, fouled, and the basket counts. Smith had him across the arm, and it's a chance for a three-point play. That score is correct. That was a 3 hit by Paul, ruled on the floor. So the Odom hoop makes it a 6-point Laker lead.
Now just keep an eye on this. If you're going to foul him right now, you got to foul him before he gets the ball up above his numbers. You can't give a ticky-tack foul. This is the playoffs. Take him down on his wrist up to that elbow so that he does not get a three-point play the old-fashioned way.
4.4. See if they can get it in Paul's hands to use his speed. Blake denying him. Chris still gets it. Nice little setup. The end of the clock. Paul hit one at the end of the second and third quarter in Los Angeles on Wednesday night. Good quarter, though, for the Lakers as they score 30. It is their highest scoring quarter of the series. And through one, Los Angeles leads Game 3 by 7.
Lakers with a 7-point lead in New Orleans. Coach, Kobe Bryant pleaded with you before Game 2 to defend Chris Paul. The Lakers with a 7-point lead in New Orleans. Coach, Kobe Bryant pleaded with you before Game 2 to defend Chris Paul. You changed your strategy tonight. What factors went into that decision?
Well, Kobe's really our offensive thrust. He's the primary guy. Powell's right there behind him. So we really want those two guys to get back into their offensive game tonight.
Speaking of Powell, you sat down with him and told him to use his strengths. What changes, if any, have you seen in the way Lakers with a 7-point lead in New Orleans. Coach, Kobe Bryant pleaded with you before Game 2 to defend Chris Paul. You changed your strategy tonight. What factors went into that decision?
Well, Kobe's really our offensive thrust. He's the primary guy. Powell's right there behind him. So we really want those two guys to get back into their offensive game tonight.
Speaking of Powell, you sat down with him and told him to use his strengths. What changes, if any, have you seen in the way he's attacking tonight?
Well, we want him to turn and face. He's getting run up out of the post from behind. We want him to turn and face a little bit, use his length and his quickness.
Phil, thank you.
Heather, thank you. 30-point quarter for the Lakers. Shannon Brown on the drive is fouled inside. Phil Jackson, by the way, for this playoff run, is going through his last. He says he's done. He's going through his collection of championship rings. Wore his New York Knicks player ring first playoff game. Now he's going through in order. Wore the 91 Bulls championship ring for Game 2. Now the 92 ring he's wearing tonight. Bynum inside, no. Barnes cleans up and dunks.
Now, in the you're going to take a look at Phil's ring right there. But out of the 14 field goals for the Lakers right now, 11 have been in the paint. Now, anytime you see a second shot field goal by the Lakers, listen, the Hornets are number 1 in the league in fewest second chance points.
Jared Jack with the hit for New Orleans to get it back to 7. Hubie, he's a very important role player and really plays well with Chris Paul on this team.
Well, as you know, they're very good friends, Mike. And the big thing I like about him, he can play the point or the 2 guard because throughout his career, he can get you double-figure points.
Bynum banging away at Okafor. Second body comes over Jason Smith. Not good enough. And Bynum's offense looks very good as it did when he got healthy this year.
Now, that double teamer was there. He was up in the air. He left his feet. Bynum still put it in up over the top. Right now, you don't like what the Hornets are getting. They're 1 for 7 in threes. They're not a three-point shooting team. They're not a big percentage team. So the big thing is that and getting to the line. They've averaged 32 foul shot attempts. They are 0 for 1 in this game.
Odom takes a three and missed it. Good clear out by Jack hitting the eye.
Yep.
He's down behind the play as the Hornets come up. See if Monty Williams can get a timeout. Well, they get a break. They got a foul by Shannon Brown here of the Lakers. Jack, as he was going up for the rebound, got hit. Looks like he got hit in the eye. They're going to call the foul, Matt Barnes.
Now keep on the left side here now. Now he's trying to block his man out, and you can see he gets hit on a backswing. On the backswing, it probably caught that right eye area.
And he went down, and the Hornets were just getting ready to call timeout. Now, Jack's talking to Monty Williams, and he says, I'm seeing two of you. So I'm going to come out here.
Mike, this is a bad injury, all right? Mainly because Jack is a real leader out on that point with that second unit. They need Willie Green to be able to play off so that let the point guard run the show here. This puts a little pressure on Willie Green to run the show.
Trying to get a couple of easier minutes for Chris Paul out there with Jack. Won't be able to do it here. Okafor tipped it back, but Matt Barnes read it well. Here comes Steve Blake for Los Angeles. Back to Odom. Lamar Odom showing that complete game. And a lot of points here, Hubie. 36 in the first 14 minutes for LA.
I agree with you. See, there's too much. The Hornets want to play a game 94-95. The Lakers want it up over 100. Right now we're playing Laker tempo. But I like what Chris Paul is doing now. All of his field goals are down inside of 15 feet to the right or left side of the lane.
Barnes with three off the mark. Bynum gets the rebound, and Barnes cuts in, and he'll work his way to the line. Right now, too much Lakers on the glass, and 16 of 25 from the field. Andrew Bynum, Hubie, been great.
Oh, you just love it. And because he's got the short shot, and then also right here, anytime that you double team a man moving, they will run without the ball. They're very unselfish, and he's so strong and so big, he's shooting up over the top of the trap here, making it look very easy.
Barnes misses the first. Jarrett Jack going to come back in with that eye injury. This series will continue on Sunday night here, Easter Sunday in New Orleans. TNT will have that, and then the games go Game 5, TNT Tuesday, Game 6 back in New Orleans, and then Game 7 if necessary on Saturday. Meantime, TNT will have Chicago, Indiana, Dallas, Portland tomorrow. Game 4 is there. And on ESPN, we'll have Game 3 of San Antonio, Memphis, and Oklahoma City at Denver.
Once again, Bynum, the reach. He had outside position, reached up over the top of Okafor to get that offensive rebound.
So 2 missed free throws, but yet another second chance for the Lakers. Odom got caught in the air. Jarrett Jack came back in. Chris Paul to the bench. A solution in the eye, washed it out. Back and ready to go.
Yeah, see, they had that, about 10 seconds ago. You got to go down in there and give Okafor. You say, well, he just lost the ball, but you got to get him involved in the game. The guy averages double figures for you, and in this series, he's been unproductive.
Matt Barnes has done a nice job here defensively for the Lakers since late first quarter.
Well, he's a good defender, Mike. Very athletic, excellent three-point shooter, in the triangle, good pass and cut guy.
Shannon Brown, who gives you a highlight dunk every Laker game, to Barnes for a corner three. Look at Bynum there for the rebound. So good, so confident right now.
Remember we told you now, the Hornets are number 1 in the league, ranked 1 for fewest points in second chance attempts. They usually do a great job on the defensive board, but Bynum and Gasol are so big. You can see Bynum here once again. Now just watch this. When he releases, there's no one there.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs. Brought to you by the U.S. Postal Service.
Yeah, Dwight Howard held to 16 points so far, Stuart. Inside been the story. Laker big guys, 17 points. Points in the paint, dominant for LA. And Emeka Okafor knows the size of the Lakers, very tough to handle.
It's a big lineup. You know, that's a very talented group right there. You know, Bynum is big, long. He knows how to use his body well. Powell's very skilled. He can shoot and drive by you. And Hello, he's a big man with handles. So to have those three just rotating in and out, it's a battle.
Lamar Odom just took the worst of it that time from Carl Landry, and Odom's going to take the hit on the chin and the foul.
Well, Mike, remember what we said in the first 2 games, the Hornets averaged 32 foul shot attempts. They have 1 attempt. They are not getting into the paint, and when they do, they either get the shot blocked or they're ending up kicking the ball back out because of the excellent pressure put on them by the Lakers. And what happened? They're missing the threes.
A great find by Jarrett Jack to get Carl Landry inside. Landry came over from Sacramento, as many of you know, toward the trade deadline. And thank goodness they got him, because David West, the leading scorer on this team, went out with an ACL injury in March. Ariza the block, 8 on the shot clock.
Yeah, they're in a zone right now. They just went zone before, and they did a nice job. They did a nice job kicking out. Now they're matched up.
Odom at the back end of the clock, and Ariza's clean on the glass. Important stretch here for New Orleans. Without their best player, Chris Paul, trying to get a hit inside early, and here comes Landry at Odom. And one.
There you go. They're losing Landry, Mike, early in that first quarter with 2 fouls was very big, because he's so athletic, and also he's an excellent scorer. He's a better scorer than Okafor, so you need him to get his looks. So as soon as he came in here right now, I'm glad that they're going down inside to try to get him going.
Carl Landry, who's in his 4th year out of Purdue, has been a big addition to this team. Traded for Marcus Thornton and some cash, had his best game against the Lakers in the regular season, March 28th. And Hubie, when David West went out with that ACL injury in Utah, a lot of folks thought, that's it, Hornets are done. They're going to slide out of the playoffs. Houston coming on, maybe Phoenix would get them. And the big reason is that guy at the free throw line.
Well, he proved it in Houston, coming off the bench, and even when he started, and then when he went to Sacramento. He can score. He can get you that 13 to 17 points because he's not going to overshoot. He's an excellent rebounder and a good defender.
Kobe's back, starting 5 on the floor against the zone. Threw it up on the glass for Bynum to go get, but a foul is called inside on the Hornets.
And we can't say this enough. Already the Lakers have 7 offensive rebounds, and this is where they're really going to hurt them. Now that was the 4th offensive rebound for Bynum.
Yep.
And the big thing is he doesn't even have inside position most of the time. Right. He's going up over the top of the defender.
Kobe a 3 right off the bench, right down the bottom for Bryant, who has 12 points in 11 minutes.
You're still in this thing. The big thing right now is you've got to get back to getting down in and then kicking out, and then let's see you shoot a high percentage.
Off a curl, Willie Green misfires. And no New Orleans offensive rebounding, which is killing them on this end.
Yeah, Kobe went right into the post with Willie Green.
Landry comes to help. Swing it.
Oh,
inside,
boy.
Bynum barrels right through Okafor.
How about that move? Now that was great. First of all, great movement out of the trap of Kobe. They rotated right into Bynum. Bynum gave you 2 looks right there and a drop step.
Needs some offense out of Emeka Okafor. This is his 2nd field goal. He has 4. He averages 10 points a game, but Monty Williams was very emphatic that they need that offense from him to free up the perimeter guys. It's game 3 of the best of 7. Hornets shocked the Lakers, winning game 1 on Sunday. A long rest, and on Wednesday, Lakers came back. Hard-fought game that Los Angeles won by 9. Kobe got Jack in the air. What a great job by Jack not to foul Bryant on one of those pet moves for Kobe.
Yeah, Kobe still thought he was bumped, but I like what Jarrett Jack did. That was beautiful. Heads-up play.
Good find, too, of Ariza for 3. Threes killing the Hornets. Here's an offensive rebound and a 2nd chance.
Well, they'll give him that all night long. Mike, they're trapping, and they're bringing the guy who's guarding the man in that corner. They're bringing him to pick up the guy that's picking and popping. and then they're leaving the corner open. They don't have to get you there because you're missing all these. Watch this move right here. This is just a great move, and then body strength up over the top. Woo! Power.
One of the flagship franchises in the NBA, the Los Angeles Lakers, and one of the great leaders in this league, Derek Fisher. There he is talking hoops with Kobe, and that tells you the respect. You know, the 6th all-time leading scorer in the league, the all-time winningest postseason coach here, and Phil Jackson working on championship number 12 this year. And Fisher filling up their ears with advice and knowledge and perspective. Jarrett Jack with a tough take. Doesn't make, and Odom gets the rebound. Chris Paul and Jack out there together. New Orleans in a 9-point hole, and UB offensively, they just haven't looked crisp here tonight.
Well, they'll give them the corner 3-point shot all night, Mike. They're 1 for 8 in threes. The mid-range game is not there either. The Lakers have taken away the paint.
Good job by Okafor to knock away the rebound from Odom. Paul on the push, bumped by Bryant. Bumped again by Fisher, but scores.
See, they needed that on the break. That's only their 4th point on the fast break, and yet they've had 6 steals. So it still can come together for them. They're only 7 down, as much as they're getting whipped down in that post area.
Feels like more than 7, doesn't
yes, it does.
Yeah.
It really does.
Gasol fighting Okafor. That's going to go the other way. That's a good call by Joey Crawford.
Excellent call. Good defensive position by Okafor. He held his area, and then Pau Gasol tried to back him down. You just watch this right now. He holds his area, and then also the push-off by Gasol. Andrew Bynum is a monster. Not only the 12 points, but the 8 boards. 4 on the offensive end.
Chris Paul.
That's his game. Mike, he doesn't have to take anything deep tonight. No. He's getting that mid-range jumper at will.
Jim Clemens, the assistant for the Lakers, who was an assistant for the Bulls, head coach as well. He told me before the game, Chris Paul isn't good. He is great. He said, I don't use the word great often. Chris Paul is a great guard.
Well, Jimmy Clemens played a lot of years in this league as a guard. You can see there, right there, Gasol was too big for Landry on that shot, and it cost you another basket.
Here's Jimmy. Hubie, what have you been telling me for months and months and months? The difference of the Lakers and everybody else, not just Kobe, the length, and you're seeing it tonight. They're going over the top at will to get any rebound they want.
Yeah, well, it's all Gasol and Lynham, and then you got to give Odom a lot of credit since he's come in here. He's picking up all of these dribblers that are getting into paint. He's leaving his man, but he's not letting them get to the front of the rim.
Ariza had a good idea to feed Okafor. Emeka couldn't put a fork in it. It'll be Laker ball on the other side of this timeout. Got a great game going on ESPN2. The Hawks and Magic in a 2-point game with 2:22 to go. And here the Lakers lead New Orleans by 7. Stu Jackson on line 1. Cancel your Saturday plans. There's some discipline there. Game 4 that series is Sunday. Let's look at the Domino's playoff tracker. That series tied at 1 apiece. Closing minute there on ESPN2. Meantime, the Bulls up top, Miami on the bottom, go for the series sweep Sunday on ABC. And in game 1 of our Friday night playoff doubleheader, what a performance by Pierce, 38, Rondo, 20 assists, Ray Allen over 30. Celtics win 113-96. And the Knicks are down 3-0 to the Celtics.
Now you're looking at the score right now. It's a 7-point difference. The Lakers have missed 11 shots in this quarter, and they have 8 offensive rebounds. And so you know your initial defense is doing a good job. You're getting them to miss, but unfortunately the big people, basically Bynum and Gasol, are just taking the ball from even after they're getting blocked out, keeping the ball alive.
Could be that foul on Trevor Ariza, his first 4 on the team. You see the Toyota halftime show. Stuart and the guys will have the Eastern pictures to go with the stories we just told you about. Using the size advantage on the switch. Smart play by Fisher because Gasol had Paul and he couldn't do anything.
Right, there was a potential block right there on Fisher, and Fisher is smart enough to bring the defender to him and drop it off to a big man.
Okafor over Bynum. Kobe the rebound. He's got 3 of those. No assists, but 15 points. He already has his 10 shots, as many as he took in game 2. The Los Angeles Lakers looking for a 3rd consecutive NBA title. Tougher round.
There it is.
And there, as we promised, is the explosive Shannon Brown dunk of the night.
That's the third one into the post, and then cut on the baseline on the left side of the floor, get the return pass, 2 layups, and then when you double team, they get it right back to the guy who gave up the ball in the post.
Ball to Okafor. Good foul by Gasol at the rim. Make Emeka earn him at the line. To that play a moment ago.
Now just watch now. You go on the baseline, you go strong, send it down strong, send them a message. Well, right here now, this is good right now. What you would like to see there is a good power dunk, and that would have knocked Gasol out of there, and you had a potential 3-point play.
Aaron Gray comes in for Carl Landry. Okafor has one more coming. Tomorrow night, we've got game 3. Spurs and Grizzlies in Memphis. They'll be rocking off of Beale Street tomorrow night for that game 3. And then out to the Pepsi Center for the Nuggets and the Thunder. Very impressive game 2 performance by Oklahoma City. What are your thoughts on those 2 series?
Oh, I like it. Make Oklahoma City's playing their game. But now Denver's back, Mile High City. Let's see if they can grab game 3. And good if Aflalo is back, because they need his defense in the backcourt. No doubt about that, because they'll match him up with Westbrook.
And what you talked about a week ago is right on. The size of Memphis inside with Powell's brother Marc Gasol and Zach Randolph have given the Spurs problems.
Well, I like what they're getting from Memphis. And you got 5 guys scoring double figures. Everybody's working hard. They really have a good opportunity. And they're doing a nice job on Duncan, as well as McNice and on Blair. They're doing a good job playing now.
Chris Paul knocks that down. I was about to say, it's an important minute here for the Hornets. Get it to 8. If they could be 6 or 5 at the half, they should feel really good about things.
Absolutely, Mike. Everything has gone the Lakers' way, and here you are. You're still in it.
So often, playoff momentum's a stop and a score. There's the miss. There's a rebound. There's a stop. Now how about a score and a 2-for-1 on this end?
Yeah, what I like there, Gray was right up on Bynum. No chance for Bynum to go for that second offensive rebound.
Monty Williams wanted the foul, but Sean Wright gave him nothing, the official on that side. It's Laker ball, as Paul did the fancy dribble but couldn't control. Seven-second difference in the game and shot clock. Comes Bynum.
Two-man game.
There goes Bynum. Okafor waiting. Foul call.
See, there's the situation. You know where Bynum is. You've got to take the charge on Bynum. You've got to take the charge above the little defensive circle. Watch to the left of your screen. See, come on, where's the rotating guy? Well, he took it, but he was inside of the defensive circle. Come on, you know he's going to roll to the basket. You've got to get to that spot. Sounds easy. He's 7 foot 285. He's on a run.
You want to go volunteer? I know he's going to be there. I ain't going in.
No, it's safer here.
Thank you. You can read about Bynum, all the Lakers stuff. Great Laker blog. The brothers do a backup column during the games. ESPNLA.com's got you covered. Everything Lakers here on this run for a 3rd consecutive title. Also, everything going on with the Dodgers. Stay up to date. ESPNLosAngeles.com.
Plenty of time in now. Watch the trap now. They send the trap.
Paul and 1. Nope. They'll come to the line and have to make the 2 free throws.
I like how Chris Paul read that, because Bynum already had made a move from the 3-point line, and he was coming to trap. And Chris Paul went away from him, read it perfectly.
One more coming for Chris Paul. He's had a great first half with 18 points per game, playoff assists all time. There he is right behind Laker legend, our colleague Magic Johnson, ahead of John Stockton, although not as many playoff games obviously as John. And it's not a game with Hubie if we don't get to mention Oscar Robertson.
Oh, go ahead. Well, I think Oscar speaks for himself. Wait, you kidding?
What a game Chris had in the first one in L.A. Time running down. Shannon Brown. I don't know if he got that one out. He missed anyway, and that brings the first half to an end. Los Angeles shot 54% from the field and dominated the paint. 10 more paint points, yet the Hornets are hanging around. Down 9 here at the break. 51-42. Heather's got Kobe. Go ahead, Heather.
Mike, thank you. Kobe already as many shot attempts in this half as the entire game on Wednesday. How has your mindset changed?
Well, I mean, just playing like myself. The last game, it was important, for us to understand that you can impact the game. Even if you don't shoot the ball a lot, you can still have an impact on the game. But at the same time, it's important for me to be aggressive.
There was a very interesting moment earlier in the game when Derek Fisher took over and in a very intense huddle. What was his message to you guys?
He was talking about execution, minimizing mistakes, and playing with the type of intensity, the sense of urgency that we know how to play with.
Seemed to work. Thanks, Kobe. Mike?
Heather, thank you. One of the greats in NBA history, 6th all-time in scoring. Kobe Bryant has 15 points to pace the Lakers. Chris Paul has 18 to lead New Orleans. The guys have the Toyota halftime show coming up, and they're great. But I'd suggest you go over to ESPN2 right now. The Hawks lead the Magic by 1 with 30 seconds remaining in that pivotal Game 3. Here in our Game 3, it's the Lakers by 9 as this great Week 1 of the NBA playoffs continues on ESPN.
3 Thursday on NBA Live. The Pacers have kept it close, but can they finally break through against the Bulls? We'll take you to Indy to find out. Plus, your top 5 plays of the night. And it's all coming up next.
Now Kobe on the hesitation. And he'll go to the line. LeBron James spins and scores.
During this winning stretch, the Big Three have played like the Big Three.
Fast and furious action. Oh!
We were just trying to run our offense and play solid on defense.
No one's going to hand us wins. You're going to have to go take it. They're going to be hard.
Get out of my way. Get out of my way, Durant. You talk about fast and furious action. We got it right here.
It's been close but no cigar for the Pacers so far in their series against the Bulls. Looking to get a win on the board in Indiana for Game 3. Derrick Rose, the MVP, he's been lighting it up all series and continuing there with a three-pointer. Bulls trailing by 1. Rose swatted away by Paul George. Take another look. So nice to show it to you twice. Great hang time by George. Off the jump ball, Danny Granger with a baseball pass ahead of the field to who else? Paul George. He slams it with 2 hands. Pacers by 5 there. It's a 1-point Indiana lead when Derrick Rose shoots this three-pointer and buries it to put Chicago back on top. We're in the third quarter now. Time running down. Luol Deng, he had a nice game. Hits a short little jumper there. Fourth quarter action now. C.J. Watson has his pocket picked. Dante Jones, he'll take it all the way for the layup off glass to put Indiana up 3. Pacers bench loving it. 2-point Bulls lead without 7 minutes to go. Kyle Korver, the long-range assassin, pumps one in, and it's a 5-point margin for Chicago. Darren Collison, the strong take, can't hit, but Tyler Hansbrough, Psycho T, working the boards. He tips it in to cut the lead to 1. Chicago up 2 here. Nice move by Carlos Boozer for the flush. Perhaps still stinging after Hansbrough in Game 2. Check out Tom Thibodeau. Definitely outside the coach's box here. Giving his own little brand of defense, nearly trying to double-team Hansbrough. Nothing was called as Joe Noah snatches the board there. 2-point lead, Danny Granger ties it up with a mid-range baseline jumper, and they're loving it in Conseco. We're still not at 84. Pacers a chance to take the lead, but Darren Collison defended well by Chicago, and now it's the Bulls' chance to claim it. Where would they go? Well, who else? The MVP, Derrick Rose, drives by everyone and gets a tough contested layup to go at the rim, and Rose is pumped up. Where would Indiana turn? Well, they get the ball in the hands of Danny Granger. He goes for the lead, but the shot is off the mark. Chicago controls, and the Bulls would hang on and win. Take another look. Indiana falls to the Bulls. LaMarcus Aldridge and the Blazers down 2-0 to the Mavericks. Let's see if they can get one at home in the Rose Garden. First quarter action. Wesley Matthews buries the top of the key three-pointer. Put Portland up 7-2. Ensuing possession, Matthews again. Another three-pointer. Can he make it 3 for 3? From 3, he does. Wesley Matthews on fire for Portland. A little bit later in the frame, guess who? Wesley Matthews. His 4th 3 of the quarter. 16-7 Blazers at that point. but Jason Terry with the answer. A three-pointer of his own. That put Dallas on top 31-28. And then Dirk, the big German, going to work. Nice up fake and puts it in off glass. Dallas looking to go up 3-0 in this series. But Brandon Roy, he puts Portland back on top 44-43 with that long distance hit. A little bit later in the third, LaMarcus Aldridge, check it out, did not get that shot off before time expired, as you see there. Another look. That would have been nice for Portland. Fourth quarter now, Blazers up 8. Gerald Wallace, he buries a three-pointer, and the Blazers looking like they're going to win one at home. But not so fast, my friend. J.J. Barea, nice stop-and-go move there, and lays it up and in. 93-87, Portland there. And then Jason Kidd, the veteran, knocks in a three-pointer. Or so we thought. Take another look. Was the toe on the line? There you see it. Great camera work. And 95-92 is the score. LaMarcus Aldridge gets it into Andre Miller, who's fouled by Jason Kidd, and that would just about do it. The Blazers hold on and win. There's still more playoff basketball to come on NBA Live. The Heat look to go up 3-0 on the Sixers. Plus, we count down the night's top plays. Stick around. LeBron James and the Miami Heat looking to go up 3-0 on the Sixers. The scene shifting to the city of brotherly love. First quarter action, Andre Iguodala buries the three from the corner. It was all Sixers early. Elton Brand, nice little foul line jumper there. And then later, Spencer Hawes on the break lays it up and in. But this one was back and forth all night. 6-point Sixer lead, not anymore. Beautiful pass from LeBron James to Dwayne Wade for the layup plus the foul. It's a 5-point lead late in the second quarter. James, nice pass for Wade, and even nicer layup by Wade. Taking another look. Beautifully done by LeBron James and Dwayne Wade. Third quarter we go, all knotted at 52. James, 20-footer from straight away, buries it, and the Heat have the lead. Back and forth we go. Sixers on top now. Iguodala, he blows by everyone and gets it to Spencer Hawes for the two-hand jam. 5-point Sixer lead. Can Philadelphia pull off their first win of the series? Drew Holiday thinks so. He buries a three-pointer, and it's an 8-point margin for the Sixers. 6-point lead midway through the third. Iguodala stripped LeBron James. Check this play out. Goes behind his back, through his legs, falls down and gets it to Wade for the slam. Definitely be seen later in our top 5 plays of the night. Check it out. Have to see that one twice. Beautifully done by LeBron James. Third quarter coming to a close. Sixers looking to go 2 for 1. Check out Lou Williams. Lets the ball roll up the floor and then just puts the speed on, blows by everyone, and lays it up and in. James not happy with the effort from Mario Chalmers. We're in the fourth quarter now. It's a 2-point Sixer lead. LeBron James spots up for 3 and buries it. And the Heat are back on top, 76-75. It's still a 1-point lead for Miami when Chris Bosh misses the layup, misses the tip, but stays with it and gets it on the third attempt. Nicely done by Bosh. And then Dwayne Wade on the tip jam. The exclamation point in this one as the Miami Heat hold on and win, and they go up 3-0 over the Sixers. Now, let's take a closer look at the Celtics before their Game 3 against the Knicks tomorrow night. Celtics! After coming within 1/4 of the championship in last year's finals, the Celtics added some new pieces and entered the season looking stronger and more motivated than ever.
It's like one ball, one team, one player. You know, we all have to be right there together and know what we're trying to accomplish.
The Celtics got off to a red-hot start, picking up right where they left off last year.
What we're seeing is a team in Boston that has their identity. They know who they are. They're comfortable with each other.
Celtics pushing 4-on-3. Rondo lobs right side to Garnetti. Alley-oops it home. Boston Celtics a hungrier team, and today we're clearly the superior team.
Revenge game to the max. And Laker fans, we'll see you in the finals, baby. We'll see you in the finals.
Every day, what do we say before practice? We're playing a playoff game.
Let's go!
Come on, put an extra 30 minutes on practice. Because ain't no stopping.
I like our team. I was just sitting back watching everybody's progress. I never questioned this team going into the playoffs.
When center Kendrick Perkins returned from injury, the team was back at full strength. But just weeks later, they made the surprising decision to trade Perkins to the Thunder as part of a deal that brought Jeff Green to Boston. And the Celtics brass found themselves having to defend the move.
Even though our record was tied with Miami at the time of the trade deadline for best record in the East, I didn't feel like our team was progressing. I thought, we had a chance and we're good, but there were some holes. My biggest concern was adequate subs for Paul and Ray. I just did not want to have to wear them out.
Even though they've made some changes, the proud Celtics still retain their aura as the reigning beasts of the East.
All our talk is in our play, so the league knows what we are. Everybody.
When you talk about the Celtics, you talk about experience.
A spectacular shot by Ray Allen.
You talk about talent. You talk about a basketball IQ at the highest level.
It wasn't pretty, but it got done.
And while they've stumbled a bit in the season's final weeks, the Celtics will rely on their team unity to carry them to another long playoff run.
People underrate what chemistry brings. This is one of the tightest units, one of the most together teams that you could probably think of, especially since we've been together for so many years. We hope Danny and Doc know what they're doing.
Tonight's International Player of the Night award goes to Luol Deng from the Chicago Bulls. Our man from the Sudan went for 21 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists as the Bulls went up 3-0 in their series against the Pacers. Congratulations, Luol. You're our International Player of the Night. Now it's time for our top 5 plays of the night. Coming in at 5 is this acrobatic reverse from Dwayne Wade.
What a reverse. Dwayne Wade with the field goal, and he'll head to the line.
At 4, it's Paul George soaring for the block.
He got it. Here's a 5-on-2.
Number 3 is Derrick Rose's game-winning drive.
Goodness. He hit his head after he made the shot. The Pacers going to take a timeout.
He got to the basket.
Number 2 is Wade again with the follow slam.
It's Wade with the stuff off the rebound. One-handed by Dwayne Wade.
Our top play is more Miami Heat. This time, it's LeBron James doing it all.
3-on-2 for the Heat. James behind the back and finds Wade. What a move by LeBron James.
Then you must rotate over earlier. Bellinelli was late on that rotation.
All of a sudden, you look up, it's 13, and Chris Paul's team in some trouble. For asking for it again.
Yeah, but they're not going to double team. They're going to let Bynum play him one-on-one.
And Okafor gets back-to-back field goals. Emeka Okafor, the number 2 overall pick when Charlotte had the pick back in 2004. Spent 5 years there and now 2 years here with New Orleans. Bynum spinning baseline through an elbow and gets called for the travel instead of the foul.
Yeah, see, that you would rather have the foul because he definitely catches him with an elbow, and that's difficult when the guy is 7 foot 285. That's not only a stinger, that goes beyond a stinger.
Paul with the miss, Kobe the chase down, Lakers with a little push. Nice job back by Carl Landry and Trevor Ariza to slow down Bryant, and the steal by Ariza. Contact with Kobe and a blocking foul called on Bryant, so a nice job there by Ariza.
Yeah, I like the fact that was a 2-on-2 break, 2 against 2. Now Kobe tries to get the charge here. Now just watch, you're going to see a nice move by Ariza, and they're not going to give it to you unless you get in front and take it right in the chest. Now Bynum right now, that you don't want to see that. Anytime that he gets anything with that knee, right away, every Laker fan holds their breath.
That was hyperextended. Remember, the end of the regular season, there he was stepping on Carl Landry as he went down awkwardly. That's when he went to grab for that knee. Timeout. Came out to surround Bynum. So you think this guy's not important? He is essential personnel to this Laker three-peat hope.
Well, Mike, he just takes up so much space.
And all the games he has missed for injury, the entire playoff stretch in 08, then the right knee injury 2009, the Achilles hip and elbow 2010, and then this season he missed essentially the first third of the season. Then came on, and Phil Jackson was telling us, when you get hurt, sometimes you have that mental wall. Do you trust it? Do you trust it? And I asked him, is this the best offense he's played? He said, well, not just the best offense, the most confident, because he trusts that knee. But now we see him go down for a second time in about 2 weeks.
Well, we could see right there, why was everybody so nervous? Because it was the right knee, and the one that he missed all those games. And you're right on, Mike. He is so essential for them if they're going to go all the way, because he just negates. He's such an intimidator down inside. He takes up so much space. So if you double team Gasol, Kobe goes down, you leave a guy, and you go to double team, he's on the offensive glass.
There you see his numbers tonight, on his way to perhaps a double-double. Now, that was his second consecutive traveling call in the half court, and he picked up a delay of game warning. Both times he took the ball and did not throw it right back to the official. And finally, Joey Crawford said enough. Correct call, delay of game warning. Okafor goes over him. It's 3 field goals for Okafor here in the third. And Hubie, that's what Monty Williams said. We've got to have Okafor's offense tonight.
Absolutely. And the fact is, he's shooting quicker. See, earlier he was holding the ball for a longer period of time, and by doing that, they were either double teamed or Bynum would then get better defensive balance.
Bennett Salvatore had a foul, but before that foul was called, Joey Crawford had a foul, which is going to supersede this, or a T called first along with the foul. The technical on Derek Fisher is called here. Joey had that on the baseline as we had the foul call on the outside by Bennett Salvatore. So Chris Paul makes the tee. It's a 6-point game. Here's Fisher throwing an elbow that's going to get him a tee here.
Oh, wow. Now, first of all, he missed with the first elbow, and he definitely gets the second elbow. And he had body contact, no doubt about it. That was an easy call for Joey. And Joey's right 100%.
Well, interesting, why not a personal foul called there? If it's the elbow, and Phil Jackson's up for the explanation from Joe Crawford, that Joey was giving it to him, but with the elbow call, I don't know.
Caught him in the face, catches him in the face, just watch this. There it is right there. They're not going to let you throw an elbow and hit a guy in the face.
And Fisher takes a 3 and knocks it down.
Now that's Derek Fisher. That's the feistiness that you get with Derek Fisher.
And a foul up top here. Going to go the other way on Carl Landry of New Orleans.
Well, he definitely moved on the screen. He steps out his right leg. And all you ask your guys to do on those side screens, just hold your area. Let the dribbler, you're going to see it right there. See, he stepped in and he caught Fisher. They've been going over the top on all screens, and that does not allow Chris Paul to make the long jumper, but that's okay. His mid-range game is outstanding.
Kobe misses his third 3 of the quarter. Okafor denies Artest inside Bynum. Battling, taken away by Ariza.
Well, you get one here, the place will go crazy.
Paul Bellinelli, it's a deep 2. Yes! They call it a 3. I think his foot might have been on the line. In any case, 6-point game.
Now that was terrific defense, pushed hard, and Chris Paul knew that he would have been challenged. He made the correct play by looking for the 3.
On the pass, a foul is called as Kobe was driving in. I want to clean up something from the technical foul on Fisher. Marco Bellinelli was called for the personal foul, and then the Fisher elbow got a T. It looked like it happened simultaneously, and that's why I was a little surprised. Here's the 3 a moment ago. Now Bellinelli's behind the line, so it's a clear 3, and it's 60-54. The last foul on Okafor was his 3rd. Gasol across the lane, continues to struggle. 2 of 5, but able to clean up and get the hoop.
Now, come on, that's another second chance point. Artest was smart. The defender trying to block Artest out never saw the ball go short.
Big make from Bellinelli, who can be a streaky shooter. They need some other perimeter offense here.
Come on now, you got to make a move.
There you go. Rebound by Gasol. Bynum tying his left shoe. Heather's going to give us a Bynum health update here in a second. Bryant beat Ariza, who gambled for the steal, but Okafor helping defensively. No call on Kobe, and here's Gasol. Back to a 10-point Los Angeles lead.
See, once again, big men making passes. That ball came from Kobe Bryant out of the double team to Bynum. Bynum makes the correct pass.
Foul on Fisher. Here's Heather with more on Bynum.
And Mike, some interesting insight from Lakers head athletic trainer Gary Beatty on that knee injury. What happens when you hit the outside of that knee without a brace, it can cause a tear on the inside of the knee. The brace is designed to protect that, but when you get hit on the outside, it actually transfers the energy to the 2 bones on the outside of the knee, and they hit and bruise. So the brace protects the inside, but causes bruises on contact on the outside. So really a minor injury to protect a major one, guys.
Okay. Landry scores from inside. And it's an 8-point game. Did you get all that?
Yes, I did.
You did, huh? Good.
What I like now, Okafor and Landry are looking to go off the dribble. They can take their guys off the dribble, facing. Just turn facing, go strong.
Good job by Ariza, but it goes right to Gasol, who cleans up and leaves it in. Quincy Pondexter came in as Heather was giving that report. It's his first action of the series. The rookie from Washington on the floor for New Orleans. And this foul on Blake will be the 3rd on the Lakers here in the quarter.
Well, the last game of the year where they were at Dallas, Poindexter came in and got double figures and was extremely active, and that's what is getting him playing time.
It was interesting, Heather's report on Bynum and the great detail from Gary Beatty, who's one of the best in the league, because when we saw the knee injury happen on the Tuesday before the regular season ended against San Antonio, it was initially thought to be a hyperextension, but really the report that it was a bone bruise was so important. Okafor travels before the basket. He knows it, so correct call going the other way from Sean Wright. But the fact that it was a bone bruise,
correct,
immediately put a lot of folks in Lakerland a little bit more at comfort. And that's part of what the process here is, Heather explained via Gary Beatty. Lakers lead by 10. And their largest lead of the game, 13 in this quarter. LA trying to go up 2-1 in the best of 7. Kobe takes Ariza to the cleaners. Rebound Okafor. Chris Paul to Pondexter, the rookie's not shy. Not good either. Artest open.
There's so much pressure on the Hornets on every shot that goes up. All 5 guys have got a rebound. You cannot take off and look for a fast break.
Nice pass from Ariza to Carl Landry, and Phil Jackson will take a timeout.
Yeah, and it's a good timeout right now, mainly because in the open floor, the Hornets are getting out there right now. Their inside guys are moving without the ball. They're getting passes, and they're scoring. So it's a good timeout. Let's talk about the coverage.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs, brought to you by Goodyear, chosen for superior performance. Goodyear, more driven.
To get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now.
Welcome back to New Orleans. Recently, Chris Paul heard a very heart-wrenching story about a 14-year-old freshman in New Hampshire, Brad Rhodes. His 46-year-old mom was killed in a snowmobile accident, and 2 days later, Brad went out and scored 46 points to honor his mom. Earlier today, Paul and Brad spent some time together. Chris Paul flew Brad and his dad down Paul gave Brad some of his custom shoes that have a chevron symbol on it. The reason that's important, it is a tribute to Chris Paul's grandfather. Actually, when Chris Paul was a senior in high school, his grandfather was killed when he was 61 years old. Then Chris Paul went out and scored 61 points to honor him. As you saw, Brad was able to wear those shoes, go out onto the court. He did admit he is a Celtics fan, but guys, no surprise, he will be rooting for the Hornets tonight. And Brad, we're certainly rooting for you.
I'm sure he has a new favorite player in the NBA. That is a little bit of the personal side of Chris Paul, who has been great for this franchise, for the league. He's been a model citizen since he's been in 6 years now out of Wake Forest. Just a wonderful gesture. Down 8 out of the timeout. Kobe, no. Hornets try to go to down 6 or 5 as Ariza gets the rebound.
Yeah, I like the strategy. They were determined, even off the dribble handoff, to get the ball into Bynum and see what he could do.
Paul has 5 assists, just 1 shot, more of a distributor here in this third quarter. Ariza leans in. Okafor tapped it back out. Paul can come back and get it.
Now, right now, Paul has only taken one shot in this quarter. And you like to see him now pick up if he can. Now, give the Lakers a lot of credit. They're stepping up now on the pick and roll. The man playing the screener is now coming with a hard trap. They're trying to force him back the other way. Let's see how he reads it. The first half, it took him a little while, but then once he got going, he was 7 for 7 in the 2-point game. All the shots basically inside the 3-point line.
Ariza, great attack by Ariza, but he could not finish.
They're getting looks, Mike. They're only down 8. They're getting looks at the basket. And in the first half, the Lakers had 17 field goals in the paint, only 2 in the paint so far in this quarter.
This is a New Orleans team that has done the job on the defensive end this year, been smart with the ball. Bryant's third 3 of the quarter as he rises up over the rookie out of Washington, Quincy Pondexter.
Yeah, that's what makes it so tough. You say, well, get up on him. Well, you get up on him, he blows by you. And then that forces you to come and trap and leave the big guy. A shot goes up, they're killing you on the offensive glass.
Good deflection, the delay of the screen and roll action. Landry got the bump, got the basket, and a chance for a 3-point play. Odom the foul.
Anytime that Landry puts it down, he's been able to get in. Now just keep an eye on this. This is just a very difficult shot. You had the body contact. Watch him. He's staring Poindexter down. Now once he says, hey, that clock is down, I'm going up. I'm reading it perfectly. You're not committing. You're laying off me a little bit. I'm not going to let you bluff me out of this shot.
Pondexter started 6 games. He played in 66 this year. For New Orleans, averaged 3 points a game. As Landry knocks down the free throw. Nice quarter here for Carl. 7 in the quarter, 12 in the game. 8-point Los Angeles lead. 3.5 left in the third. Mike Tirico, Hall of Famer Hubie Brown, Heather Cox with you from New Orleans. Out of the corner, Fisher no. Okafor's having a good quarter. Bynum saying, come on, Chris Paul, come on this way.
Yeah, that's right. You notice Bynum just dropped right back down in there.
Pondexter finding Landry inside.
Great pass. Great pass by Poindexter in traffic, but I like the fact that the man opened up and say, hey, give it to me, and then send it down with power. That was beautiful. Landry having a great quarter here.
4 for 4 in the quarter. Pondexter comes over, but fouls Odom. Lamar's going to come to the line on the other side of this timeout. So Quincy Pondexter, the rookie, inserts himself in the playoffs for the very first time in his career. Kobe hit a 3 in his face, but he finds Landry to tighten this one up. Late third in New Orleans. Yeah, Stuart, and then we'll go for the sweep coming up on ABC. You'll have Buick Regal NBA Countdown with the guys at 12:30 Eastern. QB Heather and I will spend our Easter Sunday in Philadelphia to see Miami's Big Three try to sweep Doug Collins' Philadelphia 76ers, and then the Boston Knicks game from the Garden. Easter Sunday doubleheader on your ABC station, the home of the NBA Finals.
Mike, we said that if the Hornets were going to do anything, that they had to take care of the defensive board. The Lakers only have 1 second chance field goal in this quarter. So that has been a major plus. Plus, Okafor and Landry have stepped up here and have just done a great job scoring the ball.
One more coming for Odom. Half a dozen points for Lamar, 2 of 6 from the field, 7 rebounds though. Weren't with us earlier. Heather pointed out that Lamar's wife, Khloe Kardashian, and her 2.9 million Twitter followers found out that, quote, her baby had a boo-boo. He hurt his knee. Jeez. What does this world come to? He hurt his knee in the shoot-around, but he's playing through it here. 8-point lead with 2:40 to go. Good Laker defense and all this screening action. Pondexter drives in, goes up for the rebound. Kept alive by Landry, but Pondexter had a shot block. You cannot go up with anything but full strength inside.
Well, Gasol is averaging, over 2 blocks in this series. And you won't notice he doesn't leave his feet. He just allows you to shoot the ball, and he's so long with the long arms that he just catches it, blocks it in the air.
Travel as Pondexter was guarding Fisher. Marco Bellinelli, the starting 2 guard, has hit a 3 here, but has spent a good part of this third quarter on the bench. And it's been Pondexter. Good read by Matt Barnes. Steals the Landry pass, goes in on him, couldn't convert. What a great job of not giving up by Landry.
All right, then he got away with contact there. There's no doubt about it. And then give the fact that was a major break.
Ball came up short, got himself out of the lane, but turned it over. Fisher on the push. He goes all the way and connects.
Now, that was a strong move. Anytime that you have 2 guys running you down, and then Fisher just eliminated the 1 and then took it strong off the glass.
Back up to 10 with a buck and a half in the third. Landry fouled by Odom. And we'll have some free throws coming. Hubie, we're in New Orleans here, and the question going forward is this Hornets franchise. This franchise is owned by the NBA. A lot of our LA fans heard all the stories this week with the Dodgers being taken over down the line here by Major League Baseball. Right now, the NBA owns this New Orleans franchise. Took control in December when George Shinn, who's been trying to sell to the minority owners and people with local ties, could not find a buyer. So the NBA put a New Orleans native, Jack Sperling, in charge as the administrator, and they have been running the team with business as usual. Now we have a CBA issue coming up that'll be resolved, but the question going forward is, will the new CBA make it more attractive for a local buyer to purchase this team? They're pushing season tickets. They've got a nice bump making the playoffs here, 7,600 season tickets now. Remember when Pete Maravich was acquired from the Atlanta Hawks, when this franchise was the New Orleans Jazz back in the early 70s, they only had it for 5-6 years, and then they went to Utah. So there is question about the future, and a big playoff push here to get season tickets, get support, and could help this franchise stay here long term.
Well, we're hoping for that.
I'm with you.
Yeah, and everyone is hoping. We know that this is a major sellout here tonight. Their 10th sellout of the season.
Bynum inside, guarded by Landry, and former Laker DJ Benga cleans the glass here with 1:07 to go. It's only 8. Green is checked in for New Orleans.
Nice.
Here comes Benga at Gasol, and he's fouled by Powell.
I like the pass. Anytime that Chris Paul comes off of that trap and he's going into the middle, here comes the trap with the big man. Find the guy rolling. Then it's up to the Benga to go strong. Force the foul.
And Hubie, one other footnote on that whole New Orleans point, Chris Paul's future has been talked about. He'll be a free agent after next season, 2012. Will Paul be here? Will the franchise be here? That uncertainty, so much of the story. Benga at the line, just 13 of 18 this year shooting free throws. So there's so much around this New Orleans team, and what a job Monty Williams did. Think all the new faces like Benga on this club this year compared to last.
Well, they have 13 guys on their roster, 9 new guys. And then when you think of the fact that their second leading scorer, David West, is out, an all-star player, a guy who gets you 18 points at the forward position along with 8 rebounds at the power forward. He and Chris Paul are the 2 guys who are the leaders of this club. and they were still able to finish strong, 46-36. You say, well, how good would it be? They would be the 5th team in the Eastern Conference for the playoffs. That's how good they ended up, in spite of all of their problems.
Great job by Dell Demps, their 40-year-old general manager. Gasol on the pick and roll, travel. That's another turnover for the Lakers. They've had a lot in this quarter.
Well, see, they never gave up on it. They never gave up on the play. The double team guy who came back in forced the travel.
And it continues to be a struggle for Powell. 4 of 7, 8 points here tonight. See if the Hornets go 2 for 1. Paul. Stopping a score would be massive. This building would erupt.
Now that was just played beautifully. He kept maneuvering, and they switched, they trapped, and then they chase him to the corner. He knew that the clock was in his favor.
Hornets have a foul to give. Bynum inside, no good. Gasol got the rebound, didn't get it, got it again and threw it down.
Yeah, that's a killer. That's a killer. Mainly because you had inside position, meaning the Hornets. Now the shot goes up by Bynum. Gasol was on the board twice. But the big thing is that you had inside position.
And no basket. They called the foul.
Oh, boy.
Free shot here.
Yeah. Well, there was definitely a foul there.
And they're going to talk if it was pre-shot or not now. Sean Wright. Bennett Salvatore got together. They're going to bring him to the line. Absolutely.
Well, there's no doubt about the foul. He was fouled on the first shot. No doubt about that. He wanted, naturally, the second basket and a foul for a potential 3.
Yep. Wow. You want to know how Kobe performs when Powell's on the floor and when he's not? Dig into NBA stats like never before with NBA Stats Cube, only on NBA.com. I'm chuckling because I'm thinking last Sunday I was watching the game. Jeff Van Gundy made the comment. I agree with him. Kobe's good when Powell's on the floor, when he's not on the floor. Any 4 guys in the arena, Kobe performs well. Final 9 seconds.
Come on, now you got to be looking here.
Willie Green on Barnes. End of the quarter. It's hard for New Orleans. They have nowhere near the offensive options that the Lakers do. But they're hanging in there. It's a 7-point game off to the 4th quarter. Big quarter to tip the balance of this series. Squared 1 apiece as the NBA playoffs continue on ESPN.
Welcome back to New Orleans with Monty Williams. And Coach, at halftime you said Andrew Bynum was your biggest problem. You've kept him quiet, but Kobe Bryant cranked it up a notch. Where does your defense need to adjust?
Well, I'd like to find somebody who has an answer to that question. We have to stop giving them extra possessions. You know, we've had situations where we stopped them, but we've given them extra possessions, and they've gotten off a bucket. So for us, it's always about defensive stops.
12 minutes remain in a game that your players have said is a must-win. What is your message to this team right now?
Same thing we've always talked about. Play hard, play smart, play together, get stops, rebounds, run out. We'll win this game.
Monty, thank you.
Former Notre Damer, 9 years in the league for 5 teams. Former Knicks first-round pick, Monty Williams, first year as a head coach. After 5 as an assistant in Portland, doing an outstanding job. Gasol misses. He's 4 of 8 for the game.
I like what Monty said. The 13 offensive rebounds have cost them 15 points. It's 15-5 in second chance points.
Landry aggressive to the basket, and the foul is called. See Phil Jackson get up off that far sideline. Listen to Monty Williams. Bit of an experience difference. 226 playoff wins. But Monty got his first over Phil, and it's a tall task involving the players, the experience, everything else. But Hubie, I love Monty Williams' approach as a coach, as a Hall of Famer. Just give me your impressions of Monty Williams, the head coach.
Well, first of all, they've overachieved here when you take away David West with an ACL and a key performer for you, an all-star player. Then you look at what has happened here. 9 new players have come here. They have 3 new starters of people who just came here. With the coaching staff, which is a young teaching staff, they have put in good defensive principles. They have averaged up in all of defensive categories in the top 10, which is a major bonus. They've done as well as you can do with a team of this type of talent.
I agree.
And they're in over their head here in regards to size up front.
Totally. And talent. And you look at the floor. You got Pondexter, you got Willie Green, nice players, but they're not Gasol and Odom. And it's a 5-point game here, a minute into the fourth quarter.
See, the bench guys have got to help them here tonight. The bench guys only have 4 points in this game. Remember now, when they won game 1, the bench had 39 points.
Benga battling with Bynum. They did that in practice in El Segundo at the Lakers facility. Gasol's going to take a 3 and knock that down. So Pau Gasol, who is struggling with his game, hits just his second 3 of the year. He only made 1 of 3 all season.
Now, you played it perfectly defensively. You chase Gasol into the corner. You're going to give him that shot on the rotation.
All snaking through on the screen and roll. It ends up with a switch and Bynum on him. Foul. Easily
that
drawn.
Was a great heads-up fake. He knew that Bynum was going to come for the block. Now keep an eye on Gasol right there. He knows the clock is down, and he's going to shoot that 3. Now he'll practice outside and take long shots, but you hit it right on the head, Mike. And then there's a great fake right there by Chris Paul. He knew that Bynum wanted a shot block.
Oh, Paul missed the free throw. Free throw shooting a big problem for this Hornets team in the series, and they're 12 of 17 tonight.
Now just keep an eye on this. Now think about Chris Paul. He's an 88% shooter on the foul line. He came in this series only shooting 71.
Splits the pair. The foul on Bynum, his 4th. He goes to the bench. Lamar Odom comes in for Los Angeles.
Okay, see, Mabenga right now, Mike, is really roughing up Gasol down inside, and he's playing him smart. He's overplaying him on the lane side, and he's denying the pass.
You see Pau Gasol with the 5 field goals after 4 of 19 in the first 2 games. And here he is. Maybe that 3 will get him some more confidence. Works back out to Blake, who knocks down a 3. So the Lakers' 3-point shooting in this second half, a big part of the equation. LA back up to a 10-point lead.
See, that's a major difference for them from at the offensive end. Blake, we know, can shoot the 3. Brown can shoot the 3 when they come with second-unit guys. See, right now, if you're going to double back in, Gasol will give it up and then try to repost. But Blake can make that shot.
Always like to watch the team fouls in the fourth quarter of a playoff game. 3 Los Angeles, 1 New Orleans. Any easy points for the Hornets would be big. Willie Green out of Detroit Mercy off the mark.
Bench play is so important at playoff time. If you think about it, the teams that really roll and get all the way to the finals, players 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 are such major contributors when the top 3 guys from each team try to negate one another. And right now tonight, they're not getting it at the Hornet end of the floor.
Foul on Benga. He picked up 2 quick fouls, and DJ's going to go to the bench. They come back with Emeka Okafor, come back with Marco Bellinelli, so get Willie Green out of there and really get the starting 5 back out now, because it's now or never.
Well, you got to make a run now, Mike. You have to make a run. He can see it right here in the regular season. This bench averaged close to 30. Now, these are all new guys. And in game 1, it was so pivotal in the win. Game 2, the Lakers paid attention, and here tonight, there's just non-existent points.
Pass turned over, deflected off New Orleans. It'll stay down here. By the way, that Gasol 3 a moment ago was just the 21st of his career, regular season and postseason. You're talking about a guy who's played 800 games regular season and postseason. So as Hubie said, from his days coaching him in Memphis, he practices it, can hit it, but does it rarely in games. That's where he usually does his work. Second chance Gasol for 2.
Right now, the shot goes up over the top of Okafor, but you just look at the difference in size between Gasol and Okafor, 6'9" versus 7'1", 7'2", and then also the length of the arms of Gasol.
And going strong, too, at the basket here in this second half. Jarrett Jack. He's long, rebound by Barnes, and the Hornets in some kind of trouble here, down a dozen inside of 9 minutes. Monty Williams going to need a timeout if the Lakers score here. Gasol. Basket. Timeout, New Orleans.
We can't say enough about the big men. The big men for the Lakers will give up the pass if you're going to take away a shot. Odom right there was covered, and then he just turns right around and finds Gasol. Now this is Gasol, outside position. Nothing Okafor can do about that. I'm just taking right here. Excellent pass by Odom.
Cal's got 13 in the half. LA's got its largest lead of the night.
ESPN's presentation of the NBA playoffs. Brought to you by the 2011 Sierra from GMC, the best Sierra ever.
Game, and we really have to play a complete basketball game. I don't think one man can beat the Boston Celtics.
What a great shot, and a basket and a foul. You talk about Bird's sheer determination in certain points of a game. Michael Jordan has those same qualities. Jordan ties the game.
Oh, boy.
63 points, and you're looking at an all-time record.
Oh, boy.
Michael Jordan.
They have to foul. Nash looking, tied up, reach in. Whoa, a jump ball! A jump ball!
Hold your position.
6 and 1/10 second remaining in the overtime, and the Suns leading 98-97. Tip won by Walton, flicks it outside of Kobe, takes it to midcourt. Kobe.
Bryant for the win.
Bang! Kobe Bryant has hit a shot at the buzzer! Oh my goodness!
He's all right. Yeah. How about that Jamal Crawford shot, huh? Thank you very much, Kevin. All right, let's get you to the Buick Regal game track for tonight's Game 3 here in the West. You see the Lakers led by 7 after 1, 9 at the break. New Orleans scored the first hoop of this quarter, so Hubie, it was 75-70. But since then, a 10-1 run by the Lakers, 7 of the 10 by Pau Gasol.
Yeah, Pau's feeling his way down inside, no doubt about it. He's getting easy looks. Also, the 7 threes, 4 by Kobe Bryant. That has been major in this game. At the other end, 2 for 11 in threes for the Hornets.
Chris Paul on the bench, preparing for the push. Bellinelli missed the 3. They have not hit an outside shot tonight. I mean, they hit 1, but really every outside shot they needed to make for momentum, they're not getting.
It's not there, Mike, and they've had many opportunities, no doubt about it.
And you can see body language on the Hornets bench. Quiet in the building. Reality is setting in. Off the miss by Shannon Brown. Let's see who can spark the Hornets.
You got plenty of time here, but you're going to need a major miracle. But the big thing is get them to miss, and then also take care of the defensive work, but you got to shoot a high percentage from now to the end.
Jarrett Jack working the backcourt on the drive, got fouled. That'll be 4 fouls on the Lakers here in the quarter. So if New Orleans can stay aggressive, they'll come to the line. Matt Barnes the foul.
Yeah, Jarrett Jack very quiet in this game. He was only 1 for 4. They need him to be a productive guy. He and Willie Green are two guys who come off in the guard position with that second unit who can get them double figures. Tonight, it hasn't happened until now.
Kobe Bryant checks in for the Lakers. Shannon Brown to the bench. Quiet offensive night for Brown. Just that one dunk, 2 points in 15 minutes. Jason Smith, the 7-footer, third-year man out of Colorado State, in for the Hornets. And he's the one shooting and making.
Look, Jack can make all of this happen. He's excellent off the dribble. He's going to get down into the painted area. Now the big thing is make the right decisions, and then also when you get your opportunity, shoot the high percentage.
I'm glad Monty Williams just looked down to Chris Paul on the bench because I was about to put him in the game. Got to have him now. Gasol misses, rebound Ariza.
Well, in the first half, Powell would hand off to that cutter going baseline, and we showed you that at the beginning of the third quarter.
Jack with a miss, rebounded by Gasol, Los Angeles.
Odom, very quiet in this game, has 9 rebounds. He only has 7 points, but he hasn't had very many shot attempts.
Odom, Bynum, and Gasol have 28 of the LA 48 rebounds. Kobe twisting, spinning. They don't shoot free throw.
Remember we said at the top, Kobe in game 1 with 34 points took 26 shots. Now in game 2, he only has 11 points. He only took 10 shots. So Phil Jackson said, "Look, we don't like game 2. We want game 3 for Kobe to come out here and establish himself," and he did right from the get-go.
Artest is talking to Matt Barnes as he's about to sub in here. Kobe at the line. Leads everybody with 25. Kobe Bryant, no stranger to the playoffs, no stranger to scoring in the playoffs. He is 4th, updated to the free throw now. 126 behind Shaq, chasing Michael and Kareem all-time playoff points. And remember, he's 6th on the all-time NBA scoring list. So 4th all-time playoff points, 6th all-time regular season points. Year 15 in the league, minutes down significantly this year from prior years, just to try to have some tread on the tire for right here, right now.
Well, Mike, you're right on that, because he went from 38 to 33 minutes. He only played 33 minutes this year. I like what Smith is doing.
Yeah.
He's looking for the shot.
Absolutely. 7-footer out of Fort Collins, Colorado State. Hit all 3 of his field goals. It's a dozen. Chris Paul back in here at the 6-minute mark. Odom working on Smith. Free throws coming.
They're picking out the matchups now, just like they did with this unit in the second quarter. Whoever has a guy that they think they could take advantage of defensively, they're running him into the post area.
Phil Jackson and the Lakers will stay here in New Orleans for the Easter Sunday night game. TNT, 9:30 Eastern. Then Game 5 in Los Angeles on Tuesday. Game 6 would be back here if necessary, and Game 7 would be in LA. Now, tomorrow we'll see if Chicago can eliminate Indiana. What a great series the Pacers have played. Frank Vogel, great job with that team. Portland tries to square the series with Dallas. Very happy for Brandon Roy, his performance last night.
Exactly right, very happy.
TNT will have that, and then we'll have San Antonio, Memphis, Oklahoma City, Denver. Scene shifting their Game 3s in Tennessee and Colorado tomorrow on ESPN. 14-point game. Lakers trying to take the 2-1 series lead. Smith has Blake, goes inside to Okafor over Odom. Rebecca Okafor's best offensive game of the series. He has 13 points now.
That was a tough shot. That was a tough angle. And I like what we just saw. Artest came up and played Jack at the point guard position. And then there was a switch. But I like the fact that what they're doing there, and they're putting Blake on a reason.
Oh, beautiful use of the slight screen by Kobe. Lamar Odom had this much space. They took advantage of Jason Smith. And the Lakers extend the lead. It could be their largest lead of the night if Odom hits the free throw on the other side of the timeout. The 2-time defending champs starting to look like it now. It has been quite a first week of the NBA playoffs, and day 8 will be capped off with our doubleheader. San Antonio and Memphis, Oklahoma City, Denver starts 7:30 Eastern. Actually, key NBA countdown at 7 Eastern on ESPN. QB, as we look at the brackets here in the West, give me your thoughts on that Oklahoma City-Denver series, that 4-5 matchup.
Well, we all know that the goaltending, lack of a call with a minute and 5 seconds to go
In
was
game
a
one.
disaster, right, for Denver. Mainly because they would have had the basketball up 1, but you still had a minute to play.
Right.
All right, and anything could happen. We know that. All right, that is a great series. I'm hoping to see Denver rebound at home. That should be a great game. Game 3 in Denver, sellout crowd. You know, mile high. Let's see if Oklahoma City can still put up those kind of numbers like they did at home.
Their offense very strong in game 2. Jared Jack at the top. He misses. It's still a 14-point game. Kobe corrals the rebound. There's a half dozen of those to go 26 points here on the night. Sports Center will follow us. Full recap of the 3 games tonight. Boston won in New York. Atlanta won at home. And Kobe and the Lakers on their way here in New Orleans. Let's see if the Hornets have one last push. Chris Paul very quiet since he's come back in. Okafor sizing up Bynum. He's big.
Gotta get out of 3 seconds.
Turned over.
Yeah, see, that was bad. They allowed him to dribble down into the paint, and then once that happened, Artest came on a strong double team.
Chris Paul did not touch the ball. Either trip here. Could be a foul on New Orleans. Fisher over there taking the shot with Ariza. Both do get up. They're okay. Hubie, a very quiet half here for Chris Paul.
Well, I thought in that third quarter, Mike, we tried to bring out the point. He was getting the assists. He was feeding everybody. He had 5 assists, but he only had 1 shot attempt. Now, give the Lakers a lot of credit because on all those high picks, they were stepping up and then trying to send him back the other way. And unfortunately, he could not get many good looks at the basket.
Monty Williams, last time out, said this.
Look, we got to make a run right here. We got to get stopped. Come on now. Come on, we're judged on how we finish. Let's go.
You ever buy in, Hubie, in games like this to finishing strong even if you don't win does something for the next game?
Yeah, well, but you know that you want your guys to lay it out, and that's what this team has been all about.
Yes.
And they've told them, we want you to play hard for 48 minutes every single night. We're setting a tone here with this new coaching staff, and they've been very successful. We're not going to let their guys let up. And then, unfortunately for them here, you just got another bad turnover.
Well, the Lakers doing a really good job on these screens that Paul lives with. They're doing such a good job of taking options away, and a lot of them are happening over by the sideline there, and it's taking away all the room for Chris Paul to operate.
Right. What they're doing is they're making them play within a 40-foot area. And then by playing in that, big guys come in to play here. So even if you do get into the painted area, you got to shoot up over the top of the big people.
Odom takes the lead out to 17, as big as it's been all night. And the Lakers are 335 away from doing what they do as well as anyone in the last 3 years in the league. Win a playoff game on the road.
Well, Mike, you know, during the season, Dallas and Miami won 28 games on the road. Lakers were third at 27.
Right.
And that's where they usually are every single year.
Ariza knocks down the outside shot. 15-point game. Derek Fisher has not done a lot offensively in this series. And he has 3 field goals tonight, 8 in the first 3 games. Paul fouls Kobe Bryant. And that one has New Orleans over the limit.
I like what you brought up about Derek Fisher, Mike. And that's the fact that, hey, he took the assignment of Chris Paul.
Yep.
He chased him around that first quarter. And, you know, we know at halftime, Chris Paul had a great half. But the main thing is you took Kobe Bryant and let Kobe Bryant play off, save his legs, emphasize the offensive end of the floor, and then just say to yourself, hey, we'll live with Chris Paul's points here because we're going down inside and our big guys are going to dominate this game. And then Kobe is going to be Kobe.
Oh, Dr. Phil, Mr. Jackson told us that before the game. He said, You know, Kobe asked for the assignment, and I admire that. I appreciate that. He's in guarding Chris Paul after the great game one. He didn't know he's done that with Russell Westbrook, other guards, like Andre Miller, a bigger guard. But he said, you know what? I don't like the way the game's flowed, as you said before.
Right. Sure.
So he made the switch, which means the pressure had to go to someone, whether it was Fisher or Steve Blake, and Fisher's answered it here tonight.
Well, he's looking for points, and he got them because Kobe has just been magnificent, not only with the 20-some-odd points, but the 4 threes have all been daggers.
Foul on Odom. We have a timeout, and Bourbon Street calls.
The draft is on. The stars will align. But where will they go to shine? Their lives have always pointed to this. Now, it's time. The 2011 NFL Draft on ESPN.
Busy week next week. The New Orleans Saints will pick 24th. Speaking of drafts, of course, this franchise was the Charlotte Hornets. They took Kobe Bryant with the 13th overall pick, and of course traded him Vlade Divac. The rest is history. But look at this draft. Marcus Camby still going in the playoffs. Ray Allen had 32 tonight. Eric Dampier is still in the playoffs. I don't know what Vitaly Potapico did in the last 24 hours, but I know Kobe Bryant's still at work, taken right after Potapico. Of course, at that time was a high school player. There's people still have their questions about taking a high school player, and Kobe was taking the trade for Vlade, and here's Laker lore.
Well, I think that Arn Tellem, as the agent, is the one that ran a lot of people off. And by saying that, hey, if he doesn't go with the people that we want to draft them, he's going to go over to Italy and play in Italy, et cetera and so forth. Well, then it comes down to a bluff, okay? So just look at it. 12 people, 12 teams passed on him.
Right.
And then the Lakers, there they were. They were waiting because they had that deal organized with Charlotte.
This New Orleans Hornets franchise was Charlotte. They moved to New Orleans. Of course, we had Hurricane Katrina. They went to Oklahoma City for 2 years. Kobe comes up short. And then this is behind the play going to be a foul on our test. He was holding Carl Landry back. And Joe Crawford all over that after the Kobe miss.
Mike, I just want to clear up a point. We said that, you know, the Lakers, the three ball has been big for them. They made 7 threes, and Kobe made 4. But once that game got to 5, and we thought that, hey, the Hornets are going to do it here. They might catch him.
75-70.
That's right. Gasol hits a 3, and then Blake hits a 3. Back-to-back threes, and that kind of opened up the breathing room here. But it really has been big for them, the 3 ball.
It is silent here. And that is a sound that Phil Jackson and Kobe Bryant, Derek Fisher have heard before and loved. In this run, since 2008, the Lakers are going to move to 16-17 if they hold on to win tonight. Most wins on the road in the playoffs. You see Orlando with 11, Boston, the Big 3 era, Cleveland with LeBron had 8. But then at the bottom, no other team in the NBA has more than 4 road playoff wins. They're so hard to come by, and the Lakers are going to be close to 500 on the road in this stretch. You've been with teams, you know what it's all about. When you go in on the road in the playoffs and take a house that's bouncing and loud and fans are excited and you silence them, it's one of the great feelings in sport. Off the ball, loose ball foul inside on a reason.
Mike, go back to 09 and 10, where they win the 2 rings. No one in the Western playoffs defeated them in Los Angeles. Now that's why this year, when they lost game 1, it was so shocking.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, now just think about that. Because what they would do is they would win a couple at home, and then they would go into your building and they'd beat you in your building.
They were closing out all those series in Game 6s, the Game 6
exactly
daggers they had, Oklahoma City series last year.
So that's why you love the fact that the Hornets were able to go in there and do that. But what happened? The bench shot 72%, got 39 points. All right, and then naturally, Chris Paul gets 33. They play a perfect game. But now in Game 2 and in 3, the defense of the Lakers has stepped up here and has played extremely well.
Yeah, the bench for New Orleans has 9 points here at home, and you think bench and role players are going to play better at home, and they haven't sniffed anything close to that.
Mike, Game 1, 39 points for the bench. Game 2, 13. And tonight, a very, very big struggle, 9 points, and you said it. They need help. They need a lot of help. But Laker defense, come on now, at its best tonight. They've been very, very good.
Kobe, and one.
And this guy's not bad either, right?
Well, just another boring, mundane 30-point playoff game for Kobe Bryant. That is his 80th 30-point playoff game. 80 times. He's played about 2.5 seasons of playoff basketball in his career. Just went over 200 career playoff games. And he scored 30 or more in 80 of them. Astonishing.
Well, for the Michael Jordan fans out there, Michael Jordan had done it 109 times, okay? So we just want to keep all of those guys happy. And then you can see that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and Jerry West were passed. So we want to keep everybody happy here, all right? Not a bad list, by the way.
It's really amazing. You think about it.
Well, only 4 Hall of Famers, and he will go in, I think, on the first ballot.
ESPN News projecting Kobe will be a first ballot Hall of Fame. 30 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, and some of the Laker fans who were much more vocal in Laker regular season appearances here in New Orleans give Kobe a cheer. Game 4 will be Sunday night. TNT will have that. Be a late Easter Sunday night start, 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Los Angeles time. So Laker fans, right after your Easter dinner, if that's in your plans, you'll get the Lakers trying to go for 3-1 in the series. Bellinelli, can somebody get hot for New Orleans? They're going to need people to hit outside shots, and Artest is fouled. You know, Hubie, I look over at that bench over there, that Laker bench, and you've seen those faces over there. Frank Hamlin next to Phil Jackson. Brian Shaw, who many say will be the next coach of the Lakers. There's nothing official on that. Jim Clemens. The rifleman Chuck Person back there in the second deck holding the pen. A lot of smart basketball minds who've been around a lot of good playoff wins on the road.
Well, tonight we've seen why the Triangle excels with this group of talent. They passed the ball, they cut, they made excellent plays, they gave up the second pass in traffic. All the big men passed the ball extremely well. When the threes were there, they shoot a high percentage in threes. And when you made your run, they came back and smacked you with 2 threes. But most of all, it's been the defense. The defense has been terrific. They're in this building. They've only given up 83 points up until this second. And you're saying we thought tonight that the Hornets would be able to shoot a high percentage. The bench would have to be productive, and we didn't see it.
If there was ever a night, those guys would have one of those nights, it would have been tonight. We'll see if they can do it game 4 and square the series. Joe Smith, the #1 overall pick in 1995, puts up a shot. Has changed addresses and teams 13 times in his NBA career, more than any other #1 overall pick. Landry the miss. Okafor gets the putback. Emeka had 15 here tonight, as he had 11 in the first 2 games. Steve Blake brings it to the front court, and history will record this one, 100-86, Los Angeles. Lakers take a 2-game-to-1 lead in the best of 7. Chris Paul held in check. Just 4 points in the second half, as this Hornets team was limited offensively to 86. Phil Jackson gets another playoff win, his 227th, and here's Heather with Kobe Bryant.
Mike, thanks so much. Kobe, congratulations on the win. Phil, tongue-in-cheek before the game, joked that you promised you'd shoot more than 10 times in this game. How much of a conscious effort was it for you to have more of a commanding offensive presence?
Well, I just went out there and just played my game. You know, I'm a scorer first, and you know, the last game, you know, was about doing something else. But you know, from here on out, you know, I just be me.
How much did Pau Gasol's improvement help open things up for you tonight?
Well, you know, it's funny because he missed a lot of shots close to the rim, and then he knocks down a 3-point shot that seemed to kind of get him going. But, you know, it makes a big difference for us when he's able to, you know, score in the paint.
Congratulations on the win, Kobe. Mike and Hubie.
All right, Heather, thank you. The Lakers lead the series 2-1. Game 4 in here on Sunday night. You can see that over on TNT. Remember, we've got an NBA doubleheader tomorrow night. Catch good West action with San Antonio, Memphis, and Oklahoma City and Denver. Heather, Hubie, and I will see you on Easter Sunday in Philadelphia for the Heat and Sixers Game 4. With Hubie Brown, Heather Cox, and our great ESPN team. Ed Fibishoff, Ken Dennis in the truck, our entire crew, Marty Aronoff, our stat man. Mike Tirico, good night from New Orleans. Don't touch the remote. Here comes SportsCenter.